Okay, so here we got a Quest 3. Let me get this out of the way. This belonged to my son, and the battery won't take a full charge anymore. Goes up to about 70 to 80% and doesn't go any higher than that, and doesn't last very long even after that. So I found a video that goes into some pretty exhaustive detail on how to replace the battery, and I just thought I would record that process of me trying to duplicate what that guy did. So first thing was to find a replacement battery. I went on Amazon and I bought this thing. There you got yourself a barcode if you care about that. I certainly don't. And the reason I bought this one was not because it had high ratings or any of that. It was just because I could get it quick. Comes with the battery, and it came with some tools. Not the tools pictured on Amazon, but I'm hoping between these tools and the ones I already have that I will have what I need the most. At least they give me this. This ought to be nice for getting into places to get the clips and to lift up the not sure what kind of connectors they had in there. FPC connectors? I'm not sure. Doesn't come to mind. But they give me 3 different kinds of screwdrivers. And I don't think I need this. My brain is fried. It's only like 6 o'clock in the morning here, trying to get this done before all the dogs wake up and start making noise. A Torx wrench. That's what that is. Not sure I even need that one. And then, but I have some of my own tools. And you're gonna need tweezers. Let me see what I got here. Here we are. Here we are. So you might want to have a nice set of tweezers. The guy in the video made note of the fact that none of the screws are magnetic, and you're going to want a nice pair of tweezers to make sure you don't drop any of those screws as you're taking them out. He used one that looked like this, so I think I'll go ahead and use that tweezers for the extraction process. And for tools, I don't know. What else do I got in here? I have some screwdrivers, and I have a different size torque wrench, and then I have a couple of nut drivers. Hopefully one of those will be the right size. It also has a tweezers for picking up things. Don't know where I got that. You don't even see it, do you? There. And then I have this other little kit. I don't know where I got these tool kits from. They just kind of show up over the years. But it has some other even smaller nut drivers and very small screwdrivers and whatnot. So if I really need to get something precision in there, I think I should be covered. So that's the deal with all the tools that you may or may not need for something like this. So then he mentioned the ear strap where the speakers are. He mentioned those are really delicate. I don't know if you can see in there, but right in there, he said this black circular hinge thing is where these tend to break. And so you want to be really kind of careful with those. The other thing I did, I let my fingernails grow. Sometimes the best tool is your fingers to pry things up if you let your fingernails grow out. I'm not a hand model, so too bad if you don't like that. And so let's see if I can first get the head strap off. I found that I really don't like this head strap. Maybe it doesn't go on and off as easily as I might like it to. And the other thing is, even though this isn't very heavy, it's heavy enough that the weight of this on my face, I found really uncomfortable. If you get one of the external battery packs, that balances it a little, and it really helps, not just makes it last longer, but it feels a lot more comfortable wearing it if you get one of those external battery packs that sits on the back here. So let's see if I can get this head strap off of here without damaging anything. Oh, good. So that might be the first place. So I've never done this, so I'm probably gonna make all kinds of mistakes, and you're gonna get to see it. So, not happy about that. So now I'm understanding how people can probably break these things. You got to be really careful with this. Boy, oh boy, I can see it. It seemed like the only way to get it was to pull it this way, and sure enough, that's going to break it. So let me be really careful. You know, there. It'll come off just fine if you know the trick. So, because I've never done this before, I'm hoping I don't make any crazy big mistakes in doing this. What is this? Oh, you can just ignore that. That's the charger for the camera, because I don't know how long this is going to take. So, so I got the camera plugged into a charger port. So you pull this off, okay, and let me put the tools to the side a little bit more, because what I'm going to want to do is I want to do this disassembly in a very orderly process so that I actually know how to put it back together, because I'm really good at taking things apart, not so good at putting them back together. So put that aside. So the next thing he says is this plastic frame has to come out. Oh, there it is right there. So let's try this tool that came with the Amazon kit. So he says you just kind of go along the edge here and pry that up. Okay, seemed like it worked. See if I can keep going without breaking anything. That's my other skill, is being able to break things. I try to be good, but you know, these things are not made for your average person to just take them apart and fix them. And so that's kind of what I'm dealing with here. I'm hoping you can see some of what I'm doing. I'm not actually that great at this, am I? Just keep going. And once you get this all pried off of there, just kind of struggling a little, aren't I? Want to be careful, man. These things, you know, I could have just broke it there, man. Holy moly. I don't think I did. That scared me. I hate it when stuff just kind of gives way like that. You know, you're tempted to just pull on it now. Or at least I am, because that's how, I'm just like, let's just pull that thing out of joint. Yeah, that wants to just... I think this is the one, maybe this is, so if you look at iFixit, the guy on iFixit actually broke this. I don't remember if this is the piece he broke, but it could be, because I can see this thing being a real pain in the butt to get off. And, the guy on YouTube that I'm basing all this on, he said he's repaired up to like 50 of these now. And so he's got a little bit of experience at doing this that I certainly don't seem to have. There. Oh, baby. Now, so what he did, he said there's a clip. So this kind of comes up. He said there's a clip underneath here. Boy, he made it look so easy. Unbelievably easy he made it look. And, okay. So far I haven't broken anything that I'm aware of. But then he said there's a clip underneath here. And he just got his finger underneath and popped it up. Is that it? Whoa. Trying not to be bad. This really doesn't want to come off. There. It's just kind of sticky. And yeah, it's just sticking. Oh, yeah. What's going on here? Yeah. Yep. So, not so great. This, I blew it. I ripped it right there. This is supposed to be, yeah, it's supposed to stay attached. Wow, that's really hard not to break. I'm going to have to figure out what to do to get that to, I don't know, maybe it'll be okay. We're going to keep going. So I detached the rubber or latex or whatever that is from this very flimsy little frame. Wow, seriously, pain in the butt. So I'm going to have to figure out maybe some kind of adhesive. I'm not sure what would work, but I'll figure that out later. So that goes to the side. I'm not so sure that can. I'm going to pause this. I don't think his was stuck to the latex. I wonder if mine was just dirty. How gross. I'm going to pause this. I'm going to take a look at what he did, and see if I can figure out what mistake I made or why mine didn't work and his did. Hold on. Yep, sure enough, I screwed it up. So in his video, he actually mentioned that these rings, these plastic rings, you had to get in here and lift those up before you tried to lift this piece off. So I got a small repair job here. I'll find some kind of adhesive to stick that back down, and I think it'll be fine. At least I hope so. So the next thing with that is just to get this piece off, there is screws in here, 3 screws here and 3 screws here, and a really small one there. And so here's where we'll see if their toolkit has what's needed. Kind of looks like it might. So let's start with these screws on the side here. There it is. Wow. I wonder, is that even the right one? That's pretty small. Wow. That is really small. Wow. But it's working. You gotta be kidding me. I am never gonna get this thing put back together. Wow. So I don't know what he used. Don't know what he used to get that out of there. Hold on a second. Let me make sure I'm not screwing this up. Okay, so I can make my life a little easier if I watch his videos a little more closely. There's this plastic frame that has to come out. So let's see if I can figure out how to do that. I think he just got in there and pried it up. Looks like that's all you have to do. So they come out just like that. That'll give you a little more room, but still, man, those screws are pretty tiny. So yeah, those come out. And then I don't know what kind of screwdriver he used, but he sure made it look easy. They just kind of fell out or came out when he did it. So let's see if I can just grab hold of this guy. All right, maybe not. Okay, so there's one. And here's, let's hope I don't lose any screws. There's another one down here. All right, tell you what, I'm not going to waste your time any more than I already have. I'm going to pause it. I'm going to take these 7 screws out and come back. Okay, so we're back and I have all the screws out. And so what he said, in fact, I can kind of see it. So he takes and lifts it up from the bottom. Just kind of pries it up, and there is some flex cables. And he just said make sure they're not like tucked in underneath here. And so there's one that's kind of tucked in. Well, I don't know. I'm kind of hesitant to mess with that. I have this blunt tweezers. Let's just see if that makes any difference. I don't think I'm going to mess with that. But he says take a look at that, and then you come along the top here, and there's a clip on each side that should just release. There, oh, there we go. I got it. And so then it should just fold down. Oh, that's a thing of beauty. And here's where the fun starts. So, yeah, so this flex down here. Oh, I see. Yeah, you're not going to pry that. I actually think, yeah, there's like an adhesive there, so I'm going to be careful with that one. He mentions that later in his video. This thing has got some PSA double stick tape. So the next thing he does is he takes the antenna off. And what did he say? There's a bunch of screws. This is the one. So these screws I was taking out before, they are magnetic. These little ones. It's just the screwdriver in the kit that I had was not very magnetic, so I had trouble pulling those out of there. But he said the ones coming out of here are not magnetic, and maybe that's on purpose since they're near the motherboard, they're near the antenna. Maybe they didn't want to mess it up. So but let's I think I'm supposed to take this antenna off. These little, I don't know. There. So they're going to be fun to get back on. So in here is the antenna connector. That is going to be a joy putting back together. So let me start taking some screws out to get the antenna off the board or off the headset. So I'll be back in a couple minutes. Okay, we're back. And sure enough, just like he said, it just lifts right off. But yeah, the antenna cable, these guys are pretty small and they are a challenge. Oh, and it looks like it has a retaining clip right there, so you want to make sure that gets in there. It's probably not critical. Yeah, it looks like it just sits in there. It's not like a major retaining force, so that's fine. So we'll put that aside with the 7 screws that it came with. And then I think he has me remove that. Is it just 2 screws? Oh wow, that looks like it might have 4 screws. I think he said there were just 2. Well, let me try it. It's definitely 2. So there's one here. He said if you remove these 2 screws, it'll just lift right out. let's see if I'm remembering right. Okay, so this just tilts out. Oh, he made it look so easy. I have a feeling that I'm missing, taking out two more screws, at least 2 more. Don't remember him saying this, but I could be misremembering. That is something that has always been fun for me. I don't have a photographic memory for sure. And is that... Let's see if that was it. That was it. So then this piece just comes out. And what I'm going to do is put this and this one back and very carefully put them off to the side where I won't lose them. So those can go right there. And now he talks about taking off the fan. And maybe this was where there was just 2 screws. So all right. Here's a fan connector. I gotta tell you, man, whoever puts these things together, or how it gets put together, is completely amazing. Does it just pull off? Well, in his video, it just came right off. There. Oh, yes. Maybe I'm just paranoid, but as far as I can tell, everything's just a little bit harder than it, for me, than it was for him. All right. Set that here. Okay. So if I'm remembering what he did correctly, is there any other screws? There is. There's a screw right under there and a screw down there. That one. Oh, there's 3. Hold on just a second. Hold on. Okay, yep, I was doing things in a little different order than he did. So what he did was he popped all the ribbon cables off, and so that kind of makes sense, because if you do that, then the rest of it's a little bit easier. So one, two, three. There's a fourth one underneath here. And this one is got that adhesive underneath it that he was talking about. So you don't want to tear this ribbon cable. So you want to get underneath there with some kind of a tool to release the adhesive. And I don't know. So this is a blunt edge, so I'm not too concerned that I'm going to be causing a problem. Oh, joy. And his came off so much cleaner than mine. Okay, so let me pop the connector. See if we can work this thing off of here. Oi, oi, oi. There. So that's a serious adhesive they put on there. So we can put that off to the side because we're not going to work on any more of that. And then, so I did screw up a little bit. He leaves the heatsink on and he only takes the fan off. So let me back up a little bit on that and put these two screws back in. There. Yeah, they are amazingly tiny. I don't know how this stuff ever works. Just the intricacy of these things is outrageous. It's like brain surgery, you know? There. I'm dying here. I thought I had it. So I mean, you're getting to see my ineptitude in real time here, and I don't want to bore you guys too much, but I mean, you can fast forward the video if you want, or you can watch me just struggle with some of these things. And I haven't even got to the battery yet. Tell you what, I'm going to pause it because I feel like I'm being watched. Okay, I'm back, and the fan just comes right off, and that's that. It looks pretty clean. So I'm going to take and, like I did on the other one, just keep the screws with the fan. And in their proper place. And I'll set that to the side. Then we can finish getting the motherboard out of there. So there's a couple more connectors to pop off. So there's this one, and we've got 3 of them over here. Looks like that guy comes off, that one, and that one. And let's see, we have some more, I forget what he says these are. Some Bluetooth antennas or something. I'm not sure what those are. He knows what they are. He says in the video if you want to find out. But they should pop off. Well, and then also there's speakers. So there's speaker wires that are right here. And these guys, I believe, lift up and out. Yep. Those are other ones. They're kind of fun to get it back into place. And there. Okay. And so now I have let's see, 1, 2, 3 screws. Is that it? Just 3 screws holding the motherboard? Oh, and a 4th one. I think that was it. All right. Let's begin that operation. And one more. according to him, this should just lift right out. Unless I'm missing something. Oh, I am missing something. All right. There. And here. Oh. Let's see. Came right up. Wow. All right. Now let's see if am I free? Let's get these antenna leads off of here. And seems like it's free to come off. Just being really cautious. Boom. Okay. Don't think I've broken anything serious yet. So, like before, looks like all the screws are the same. But I'm just going to keep them with the motherboard. Oh, come on. So let's set that there. And then yeah, so then we have the cover for the battery. After all that, we will finally be able to get to the battery. But this one is got an adhesive holding it down to this cover, and so we have to make sure we get that loosened up before we try to take the cover off. Oh, you know, oh, it has some active parts on it too. This is not one you want to trifle with. Boy, he did that in his video. He did that. He made it look like it was just nothing. And I'm here. Boy, I could just make a total mess out of this. Oh. Boy, oh boy, could I make a mess out of this. This is something you want to really be careful with. How did he do that so easy? Just amazing. Oh man. That is incredible. Can you see under there? I nicked it a tiny bit. I don't think I damaged it, but that scared me pretty bad. I hate it when stuff just kind of pops. I would have much preferred it to just come off gently. Oh, it looks like there's one over here too. Yeah. Yep, let's make sure that's coming off. cleanly. Oh, baby. Be nice. There. That one's kind of cool. Oh, I guess the other ones show it. It's a nice little feature that they didn't really have to, but so these little lines are kind of show how it gets bent or pre-bent in the assembly process or somewhere along the line. Anyway, what else do I have here? I think I just take out the screws. Looks like there's one, two, just two? Let me, I don't see the other ones. Okay. If there's a noise in the background, so it got kind of hot in here, so I had to prop a window open and put a fan in the window to kind of make my life a little easier. So if there's background noise, I'm sorry, but that's just part of dealing with an amateur that you got going on here. Okay, I'll be right back. I gotta make sure I know how to take this cover off properly. Okay, good thing I took a look because I totally missed what was going on here. So there's only two screws that hold this on. There's one there and there's one behind down in there, and the speakers are retained to this cover, so those gotta be pulled off of that retention before you can take that cover off, and then we can get to these two screws. Get this cover off. See, yeah, see, they are magnetic. It's just this little screwdriver isn't particularly powerful in the magnetics. And then trying to be careful, and so those have a little spongy thing on them, maybe for EMI. Well, we don't care about EMI anymore, do we? So I think once it all goes back together, it ought to be just good enough. But I'm not going to care too much. Okay, so if I did all of that according to plan, he said it just lifts right out. And of course, you know, nothing's ever quite the way you think it should be, I guess. Let's see what happens if I don't know, man. See, to me, maybe mine's a little different. So there's a couple of screws here. Let me, okay. I gotta go watch this guy's video a little more. This is more complicated. Or I'm just kind of slow in the head. I'll be right back. Okay. Well, his just lifted right out, but there's a couple of screws that look like they need to come out that he didn't have in his. So I'm going to take these out because it just lifted right out of there for him. And so I'm pretty sure these got to come out first. And I don't know if you can see this, but there's some more of that EMI foam. I don't know if that's adhesive or if that's just on both sides, but if it's adhesive on both sides, then I'll probably damage that lifting this out of here. But that's hopefully not a critical issue for what we're doing. So let's see if I made any progress with getting this so that it'll lift out of there now. Oh yeah, it comes right off. If you're careful. So do I have something that's holding it? It's like the side is not wanting to give up. Oh. You stinker. Okay, so I didn't see that on his video either. So this is retained into the cover like so. Okay. Wow. All right, so these guys, let's get these screws back in their perspective areas. Because I'm not interested in losing these things. Set this off to the side. And finally, we see the battery. Now, the battery is in this frame, and there's only 2 screws holding it in the frame that I can see. So let's start with those. Boy. That's no joke. One. And then I know this is terribly entertaining. What can I tell you? Again, you know, you can speed up the video or whatever you need to do to find the sections you want. There. So does that mean battery just lifts out of there now. Kinda. Okay, what am I missing? All right. I thought it just comes right out. But you know what? I think I can already tell. Let's take a look. This battery is just a little bit puffy. So they are not supposed to do that. That's, well, I'll just put my trash there. Oh yeah, I don't know if you can see this, but there's a little bit of a puffiness on that battery right there. And this one is, the new one, is perfectly flat. So absolutely this battery is not a happy camper. But I'm missing something on how to take it out of here. So I will have to come back one more time because I am missing a piece on how to get this out of here. I swear it just lifted out on his video, but let me go watch that again. I'll be back. Sure enough, this is the part I forgot. There's a hex net driver right here and here. So here's where the toolkit for the battery didn't come with that. So let's see if I have something that will work. Let me start with this guy. Let's see if he's the right one. Too big. That's the right one. Thankfully, over the years I've collected a variety of different things, and I've been lucky for the most part on being able to take things apart and put them back together the way they're supposed to be. Nice. And yes, when you do that, then the battery comes right out. So it is definitely not a happy battery. Yeah. So I think, so the next trick is I got to get the battery out of this frame and put the new battery in. So oh boy. Well, does this stuff peel? That would be nice. Otherwise, think I just have to cut that out of there, because it has to go in that frame, and it has to be taped into the frame. It has to be secure. I don't think this is meant to come off of there. Oi. So I'm gonna try. So let me fiddle with this. If I get it to work, that'll be cool, but this is gonna take me a minute. So it's really, it's taped into the frame, and it's really obnoxious. So it's gonna take me a minute. I'll be back once I get this sorted out. All right, so I got that out of here. The tape is extremely strong. So I ended up just cutting it, and batteries make me nervous. If you mess with these, and that's all just, I mean, boy oh boy, that is just waiting to be a problem. And I thought I was doing something smart, but I ended up exposing the electrodes. Well, that could have been a whole lot of fun with that if I'd have made that mistake and did something wrong with that. So I'm just going to put this tape back over the electrodes. So if you didn't know, lithium batteries are no joke when they decide to go nuts on you. So I was actually a little bit nervous about what I was doing here, but it all worked out. Kind of wish it had come with the thing already in a frame. I'm just going to really tape that up good. What I wasn't sure, yeah, I think this piece is like a part of the frame. So I'm going to have to figure out how to tape this all up. But basically, this guy, oh, and then it had a spacer, this foam. I don't know if I can get that off of there and still use it, but it would have been nice. Well, maybe I can use it. It would have been nice if this had all come very neatly put together. So that's got to go there, and this foam gets packed in there. Then I gotta put this over here, and then I gotta pre-bend the flex so that I have this shape. And so thankfully the bends are marked on the battery connector. So I'm going to pause my video and I'm going to see what I have to put this thing back together the way it's supposed to be. All right, I'll be back. Okay, so here's what I did. Good old-fashioned electrical tape, and just taped it in there, and I folded the new battery flex so that it looked approximately like the old one. And we're going to start trying to put this thing back together, and with some serious luck this will actually work. So we will reverse the process and hope for the best. Don't know if you want to watch me doing all of that, so I am going to just do it and show you the end result, and then we'll see if this battery charges up the way it's supposed to. All right, hang on. Okay, I'll give you a quick look part way through putting it back together. The connectors are kind of a pain in the butt for me. My fingers aren't that great, and you have to get them lined up, and the feel is just so, but it looks like I got everything on to the motherboard with the battery in there, and I can proceed to the next step of putting the cover, and then the fan, and then the antenna, and then the front face back on. And at that point I think I can see if the battery will properly charge. We'll see. I'll come back in a minute. Alright, well, I have the guts of it all put back in. I haven't finished the assembly, but I'm going to see if I plug in the charger that it came with, if it starts charging or catches on fire. We'll see. I figure if it's not going to work, there's no point in messing with the rest of it. So let's plug this in, and well, the light came on and the light went off. So what does that mean? Oh, and it came back on here. But if I turn this off, so it's charging, or so it says. So what I'm going to do while it's doing that, because I don't see any flames yet, I'm going to work on how to repair this thing that I screwed up. All right then. Let's hope for the best. Maybe we got something going. I have a bunch of leftover screws. Hopefully I don't have any extras when I'm done. Well, hey, we're back, and look at that. A green light. It charged up. So I think I'm all set to finish putting this back together. Sadly, my mistake on this piece means I have to spend another $25 plus shipping and tax and whatever. Not really a good way that I can think of to fix this. So there. Don't do this if you try to fix one of these. Otherwise, that worked great. It's kind of a long video. Maybe I'll post it anyway. Who knows who might be interested in watching me struggle with replacing the battery on one of these. All right, that's all for now.